My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
It's the Al Travis Show. We've got him. Minnesota Sports Life for Paulie. It is such a juxtaposition of what's going on in Minnesota. Talk between the Twins management and the Vikings where we'll get to that. But Paul, I know you're in the corporate world, and I just got to ask you in a global sense. I think the WNBA is messing up the way they're handling this sex toy throwing on the court debacle. I'm not pro throwing things on the court of any kind, but the guy who did one of these has turned himself in and could get a year in prison and $1,000 fine. He's evidently got 6 kids. He owns some mechanic shop in Ohio, and again, I'm not sticking up for the guy, but if it was anything else, you throw things on the court, hot dog, whatever, they ban you for a year. There seems to be quite the large discrepancy. I mean, jail for 12 months for this. My point is, I think if the WNBA almost ignored it, happened, kick it off the court, find out who did it, ban them for a year, this doesn't become an ongoing story. It goes away. How many people go buy these things and throw them? I don't got one hanging around. Well, maybe some people do. You get my point? I think it continues to be a story because they make it a story. Because the next thing, this guy says he's going to fight it. So now we're going to hear the court case on it. And it's like, well, is this actual assault? And again, WNBA, get rid of it. It was weird for a while. I don't think people care. You know what I'm saying? I guess they're keeping it alive, and I don't like it. Better ways to handle it.
Interesting. First I've heard of this. I have not paid attention to that story.
You didn't hear about that? It's been 3 or 4 games. And in fact, you really, Paul? And I followed the WNBA because I care. This got me to, no. This happened 2 or 3 times. Somebody threw a sex toy in the middle of the court, have to stop the game. They were looking for this guy. Literally had pictures of him, surveillance cameras, we want to catch this guy. And then it happened 2 more times. And in fact, some company said, oh, we were doing that. They were a Bitcoin company, one of those guys. We're just trying to get our name out. It had nothing to do with this. They were trying to steal all the publicity that was coming from this. Anyway, I said this when it started. Ignore it. Kick it off the court. Move on. Find the guy, say you're never coming back into one of our games, but leave it. But they threatened to stop playing ball games the next time someone throws it on the court. Well, he just gave Knothead all the power in the world to stop the game. So I'm just saying that WNBA, don't make this a big deal, and it will go away. The world doesn't want to be doing this on the regular. We'll point out the guy who did it. I think it goes away. I think they're doing it wrong. So marketing-wise, I think they're wrong.
Yeah, and it's really pretty sad too. Where is this where we're at? Where it's a stereotypical answer about oh, okay, that's who's on the court. Let's focus on their sexuality or something. What? Why do you need to? Why do you need to do that?
See, that's why I think this would go away. 99% of 99% of the people in that auditorium don't care. They went to the game. Right. They paid tickets to see no one gives a crap. But this guy, and we were talking about it last hour, this isn't like guys at the place getting too many beers and he throws his hot dog, which happened to be there, out on the court, or popcorn, whatever, right? This guy had to go out and buy one of these bad boys or have it shipped to his house. I don't know. Go to sex shops. I don't care. There was pre-thought behind it, which does make it worse. I'm not saying he did right, but the 99% of it, it was him. Point him out, get his butt kicked out, and it's over.
I don't disagree with that. Maybe they end up feeding that publicity monster, right? By doing it.
All over ESPN. I mean, it becomes memes. It becomes everything else, and it's assault. There's a lot for folks who have been assaulted. It's trust me, it was bad manners. That's my opinion. It's wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just again, where's example of just how little decency we have left around here is just, can't you just go to a game and watch the players? Do you feel like you have to make your statement?
But that's where we get judged by the one knothead, right? Like I say, everybody else went there wanting to see these gals play basketball. No one else thought about that since one knucklehead guy, and because of that, he feeds the other knucklehead guys. How funny is that? I can get on TV. Okay. I don't know where we go with this, but throw a man in jail for your.
But back in there's always a wave of something. I mean, back in the day, it was streakers. You remember that? There were people would, streak across the stadium. They jump on or
the kissing bandit. The kissing. What was her name? Lola, the kissing bandit, or so? What was her name? That was when we were kids. The kissing bandit.
Morgana. Yeah.
See, but even that. Yeah.
Kissing players, even I remember running across and kissing Cal Ripken Jr. Yeah, but
see things we remember. But like the streakers guys, right now, television, at least the NFL has figured that out. Guy jumps down, going to run across the field. Announcers, go talk about something else, and we'll put a picture of the Coca-Cola sign up. They don't feed that because every other sport that does, they get more of it.
That's true. That's true. They figured it out, but it's disappointing, but. I don't know.
There's no way.
Also, shame on ESPN for giving it that much airtime. They're feeding into a mania that really will inspire other knuckleheads to do similar things.
And I wasn't at any of these games. If this isn't written about, or ESPN doesn't show it and then blur the thing, I wouldn't have known about it. Paulie didn't go to the game. He didn't know it. This would have died in a day. Yeah. But instead, it's here 3 weeks later. That's a great point. A couple other things. Lynx lose to Atlanta 75-73. That's 2 losses in a row. Don't panic. It's the only back-to-back loss this team has had all year.
Yeah, they're still playing through the best in the league. And now they just have to prove it. And I don't know where Collier's at. Is she going to be able to come back for a playoff run, or is she out? I mean, that's the question. Is do you without her, do you have the horses to make the run? Right. Yeah. So
I don't know if I like you calling those ladies horses, Paul. Find another term. Just metaphor. Let me ask you this. This is what's so cool. I'm not a big Angel Reese fan because of the whole thing with Caitlin Clark. I've picked a side, right? But Chicago made a deal with Minnesota to get Angel Reese. And because Chicago lost yesterday, they are now out of the playoffs, which gives Minnesota now, who could win this whole thing, their number 1 pick next year.
Oh. Very
wow. Good. Yeah. So you talk about a team that looks like they are set up for the future. Yeah, you get this team healthy and get a number 1 pick, all because some team wanted Angel Reese. And again, I don't know her, but when I pick sides, I'm going Caitlin Clark. I think Angel Reese, I think I read like 75% of her rebounds are her own layups. Yeah. Like, okay, can't root for that in basketball. It's more Al Travis stats when I played noon ball.
Yeah, right. Yeah, your percentage is down, but your rebounds went up. Yeah, I don't know. So, all
right, let's talk some Minnesota Golden Gophers. I thought the interesting play here, and they're getting kick-started, is the coach went off on this Coy Perich. How much this kid can do anything. They've got him returning kicks. They got him, of course, as the safety. How freakishly athletic is he? When you're in Big Ten caliber and everybody plays one spot and tries to be the best can, that they can't find enough places for him, is he just some freakish athlete? Is there something natural?
Yes. The answer is yes. Coaches want to succeed. They want to, limit, the exposure to, if you're really good at this, can you really handle doing this? But PJ's given him all the responsibilities. He's playing. He's a 3-way player. You think about special teams and defense and offense. Yeah. Because he thinks he can handle it, and he's probably the best guy out there to do it at all those positions. This is going to be fun, and he's going to be a story nationally because you don't see that very often. You don't see it in the NFL hardly at all, but in college you do see it with really good athletes. You can play both ways. I think he's going to be the story. And as long as the Gophers keep winning, that don't make him like a footnote. Make sure you're also winning games, but. No, I'm excited. And he's a local guy, right? He's from Esco up north, and this is going to be fun.
You make a great point, though. If this team is in obscurity, the story will be a one hit. Maybe they'll bring it up when they show up, and then there's nothing here. But if this team actually does something, in fact, if this team does nothing, the coach, people are going to question the coach. You put one kid to carry your team.
Yeah.
How can you know,
it'll be more about that than the team aspect. But if he's that good, I think both the offense, defense, and special teams are all going to be like, yeah, we want you on our side. We want you out there because you're going to make plays for us and we're going to help us win. So,
and I think PJ's a bit of a showman. So I'm not like Mr. On Board, but he's not an idiot. So This kid must have that extra gene that, I can't say, got great genes. He must have something in him that can play both ways. First off, playing all three sides. I mean, when does he take a breath? There's that. But that he's that good on all sides is amazing. So
I think it's going to be really exciting to see. And just when right after he makes a tackle, next thing you know, he's a wideout, or a wildcat, ready to carry the ball. I think it's going to be good. We haven't had these kind of athletes in Minnesota very often. Yeah. So let's play it out and see what happens. And it's going to be kind of electric. I'm going to the opener next Thursday.
Oh, good for you.
I'm really excited to unveil it. Let them out of the bottle and see what happens. And I think you'll get more people excited about Gopher football.
The one that gets me is the kickoff returns. You have 11 guys running down at you. This is where accidents can happen. This is where things get hurt, and you're letting this guy who's both ways, one on both, getting that. I mean, he must be impressive. I'm going to wait and watch.
Yeah, absolutely. But apparently he just lives and breathes it. This is all he does, all he wants to do. And so turn him loose. I mean, I think the stadium's going to be electric, and he's going to be a big part of it.
The article today I read was that the coach also, besides all this stuff we just talked about, his natural ability, the coach says he's smart as a whip. You mentioned being able to do all this stuff and be in command, and he's got a future plan, owning some franchise of this or that. He's already figured out what he wants to do. He is a bright kid. We'll watch him. Got to go to break now when we get to what I talked about at the beginning. The juxtaposition between the Minnesota Twins fans yelling to sell the team and your Minnesota Vikings who, bring back Adam Thielen. I'll tell you, the feeling about these two teams are 180 degrees. We'll talk with Paul after this on the Al Travis Show.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc., Midwest Money Management, and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
Think about it. Now that school's out for the summer, how are Minnesota students doing? Not very well. Minnesota ACT scores fell again last year and are the lowest they've been in 10 years. In fact, fewer than half of Minnesota students can either read or do math at grade level. Think about it. We used to brag about our schools. Now we're losing to states like Mississippi. Visit AmericanExperiment.org for more information. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
as in alligator. L also in alligator. But it's not alligator. It's the Al Travis Show.
We should probably preface this for folks who don't know Paul. Paul's Minnesota sports lifer. What we mean by that is there probably is no greater Minnesota Twins sports fan since about 5th grade on, from collecting all the cards and the rest. And I'm going to be honest, Paul, the feeling today, go with the Twins. They lose to the Athletics 4-2 in the 10th inning. The crowd screaming, yeah, sell the team. They're so apathetic of what's going on. You're seeing why second, AA and AAA guys are on the field and what that looks like compared to the guys who are ready to be in the major leagues. This feeling runs thick through Minnesota fans. Am I wrong?
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, it's a coordinated effort now. There are people making T-shirts about it. They're doing chants. They're looking for the opportunity to get onto the TV pre and post game, to get on the mic and make a statement while the cameras are rolling, because they want that message out there. The frustration with the ownership right now is higher, probably as high or higher than when they had the Calvin Griffith issues back in the 70s, because he was getting rid of all players once they got good, and then making racist comments in Wilmer, and then when the Pohlads were offering the team up for contraction, when it was Carl, the old man. So no, it's legit, and part of the thing too is that less than 2 years ago, this team was making a run and winning a playoff series against Toronto with a young core that was really, really good, and the future looked great. And that's the fall from grace here, is that what just happened? We were going on the up, and now in less than 2 seasons, we're a bottom feeder, losing, getting swept by the Athletics, who don't even have a home city. It doesn't get any worse than that.
So what do they got to do? I believe they either got to start buying people we know. You've got to get players to get me to want to buy season tickets for 2026. I think the rest of this year, Paul, for those that have gotten major league tickets to go to a game to see this third-rate team, you raise your hand, they need to start giving away hot dogs. Guess what? You come to the game, free hot dogs. We know this may not be what you're hoping. You want cotton candy? We'll make it. They got to do something to make you happy, or you're not coming back next year.
They've done some it's not quite free, but they've offered it for like $5 or $4.50. Okay. You can get hot dogs, popcorn, and all that stuff for really, they've lowered the price, again, to try to drive some people to come to the ballpark. But a nice ballpark will only get you so far. I love Target Field. It's my happy place. I know, but
it used to be.
But you can't trot out a AAA team there and keep people coming back. So I feel for the diehard fans. I feel for the people who work for the team, like Sue, the organist, she's seen it all, and she's out there, working it. And
tired of one-sided media and divisive noise drowning out your conservative values? Take back the conversation with Braver Angels. Join a grassroots movement to restore civility and find common ground without compromising your principles. As a conservative, your voice matters. Share your perspective on issues like immigration and public health in Red Blue workshops, and help rebuild trust in our great nation. Be a leader in depolarizing America. Sign up for free at mn.braverangels.org. Braver Angels, where conservatives, liberals, and independents unite for a stronger republic.
Hit the wrong button. We will have 2 minutes to talk. 1 minute will be filled with, actually 3 minutes. We'll have 1 minute with music in the background. That'll mean, we have to get to the bottom. Bottom's a hard stop. I pushed the wrong button. I was going to delete a commercial because we were running long, and I pushed.
And you played it.
A lot going on here, Paul. A lot going on. A lot of the mix.
I know. I get it.
Not just sitting there looking pretty like you, telling my thoughts. I got other stuff.
Yeah, you're the first person to tell me that.
I tell you what, I love Shannon's brother's spicy sauce.
Right.
I used it on pork loin. It's a little too peppery for my wife, but I absolutely loved it. It's good stuff.
Good. Yeah, it's good stuff. I don't know what to do with the Twins. I really don't. I mean, and they'll be in limbo now, with the ownership thing, until that gets resolved, because the current owners are not going to spend money on new players. What do you got to your point? What do you have to market for next year? Who's going to sign up for suites and for season tickets? It's as dark as
if you want to see your money go downhill, keep doing what you're doing. Put this on the field. You're going to lose ticket holders, like you say, sponsorships. Hell, they don't even know where it's going to be on TV. Who's going to bum to get you on TV if this is what you're putting on the field?
Yeah, it's just a dark time. So
10 seconds. Here we go.
Can we end it on a better note?
Absolutely. That's the juxtaposition. We got 2 minutes. Hold on.
Easily offended? The Al Travis Show is not for you. The Al Travis Show. All sides are welcome.
I would love to blame that on Paulie, but I hit the wrong button. Sorry, Paulie. Sorry, that's on me. But nice switch to topics. This is the juxtaposition I'm talking about. We want desperately for Minnesota and Twins to be good. They're right now a 6th grade baseball team. You know when you're in 6th grade and there's one little scrawny kid at the end that just finally comes up and just praying he gets a hit? That's what we're doing these kids. We don't know who they are. We're just praying they get a hit and they can play well. It's not enough to draw me to the field. Let's go to Minnesota Vikings, though, who I don't really care about the game tonight. It really makes no never mind to me. But a couple of things. Addison is out for 3 games because of his DUI thing. The Naylor kid has got a hand injury. So we know we're going to go in light in the receiver position for the game. Here's Al's, we Minnesota fans. There's talk you could get Adam Thielen back here for a 1-year, $6 million contract. He's not the Thielen of old. He's old tires. But you know what? I think Minnesotans love it. I'd like to see him catching more catches here. I'd like to see him end his career here. $6 million, Paulie. That's the difference. I'm begging for good stuff, but I mean, we need players. I'm here rooting for this team, and the Twins, I'm begging, don't screw up anymore. That's the difference. Your thoughts?
Yeah. I think the need for a receiver is for me is like, is he worth $6 million to produce what we need in that spot? I'm as much as I am the Minnesota sports lifer, I'm really done with the provincialness of Minnesota. I don't care where you grew up. I don't care. If you have to be one of us, are you good or not? Great. He's a Mankato State guy. Yeah. That's fine. It's all good storyline, but let's just, we don't need the storybook ending of Joe Mauer, staying in one place for the rest of his career. We don't need it. Can you produce or not? And I don't care where you grew up. I don't care. Just, I want the Vikings to be good. And I don't want to, give a hometown, deal because you want to get tickets sold or PR moves or whatever. Can you play or not? That's kind of it.
And we know Thielen. We know Thielen can play. This is a 3rd string receiver, right? He doesn't have to be the number 1 guy. Is he good enough to catch a ball when you need to? I guess I'm thinking you're wrong, Paul. Here I am telling the sports life. I want it back. Give me more Minnesota kids. He went to Mankato State.
I'm in the minority, but I'm just like, just win, baby.
Just win.
I don't care. I don't care.
Did you come up with that? That's a great slogan.
In Jamaica, I don't care. Can you win? Please. You don't have any winning around here. I want to win.
Well, we'll see. He's Paul, Minnesota Sports Lifer. Sorry for mucking up there, my friend. Appreciate you being here.
No worries.
Minnesota Sports Lifer Paulie on the Al Travis Show.